How to Thrive in a New Job. Hello, I'm Teacher Luke, and this is my story on thriving in a new job. Chapter 1. Making a Great First Impression. Have you ever walked into a room full of strangers and felt all eyes turn toward you? And in that moment, did you wonder what people thought of you? Your clothes, your smile, even the way you said, hello? Many of us know this feeling, especially when starting a brand new job. First impressions are powerful. They form in just a few seconds, and often they last for a long time. When you begin a new job, your colleagues and managers are curious about you. They want to know, are you professional? Are you friendly? Are you someone they can trust and work with? The good news is this: you don't have to be perfect to make a good impression. You just need to be aware, prepared, and genuine. A strong first impression sets the foundation for positive relationships and future success in your workplace. Alex, a software developer from Spain, started a new job in Berlin. On his first morning, he rushed because his train was late. He entered the office stressed, with messy hair and no time for breakfast. When his manager introduced him to the team, he spoke quickly and nervously. His colleagues smiled politely, but he felt he hadn't shown his best self. The next day, Alex decided to try again. He woke up earlier, dressed neatly, and arrived 10 minutes before work began. He greeted his colleagues calmly and asked one of them about a local cafe. That small conversation helped him relax, and soon he was having lunch with his new team. Alex's story shows us that even if the first impression is not perfect, you can still improve quickly by being mindful and intentional. People notice your appearance before they hear your words. This doesn't mean you need to be stylish or expensive in your clothing, but you should look neat, clean, and appropriate for the workplace. Dress appropriately. Every workplace has its own style. Some offices are formal while others are casual. Observe and match the environment. Body language matters. Stand tall, make eye contact, and smile. These signals show confidence and openness. Handshake or greeting. In some cultures, a handshake is common. In others, a simple smile and nod are enough. Learn what is normal where you work. Your body speaks even when you are silent. Positive body language helps others feel comfortable around you. The way you speak on your first days can shape how colleagues see you. You don't need long, clever sentences. What matters most is clarity and politeness. Some useful phrases for first meetings are, "Nice to meet you. I'm looking forward to working together." "I'm new here, so please let me know if I need to do something differently." "Thank you for explaining. I really appreciate your help." By speaking clearly and politely, you show respect, and respect is the foundation of trust in any workplace. When starting a new job, it's natural to focus on yourself. Will I do well? Will they like me? But making a great impression is not only about presenting yourself, it's also about showing interest in others. Ask colleagues about their roles. What's your main project at the moment? Show interest in the workplace culture. Do people usually take lunch together or separately? Listen carefully when others speak and remember their names. People feel valued when you pay attention to them. Curiosity creates connection. May, from China, began working at a design studio in New York. She was shy, worried about her accent, and spoke very little in the first week. Her colleagues thought she was unfriendly. Then, on Friday, she asked a simple question at lunch. "Where's a good place to get pizza around here?" Her teammates laughed, shared their favorite spots, and even invited her to join them that evening. That one question changed her colleagues' impression. May learned that showing interest in others, even in small ways, can make a huge difference. Another way to make a strong first impression is to show reliability. If you arrive on time, follow instructions, and complete small tasks well, people see you as dependable. be punctual. Arriving late in the first week sends the wrong message. Take notes. Write down instructions so you don't need to ask repeatedly. Do small tasks carefully. Even simple jobs, like sending an email or preparing a document, show your attention to detail. Reliability builds trust. Once colleagues trust you, they are more open to working with you and supporting you. Confidence is important, but too much confidence can appear arrogant. On the other hand, being too quiet may make people think you lack ability. The best first impression comes from balancing confidence with humility. Show confidence by smiling, making eye contact, and speaking clearly. Show humility by listening, asking questions, and thanking others for their support. A balanced attitude tells people, I am capable, but I am also willing to learn. If you are working in a country or company with a culture different from your own, cultural awareness is key. What makes a great first impression in one place may not work in another. For example, in some cultures, being very direct is valued. In others, politeness and indirectness are preferred. In some offices, first names are used immediately. In others, titles and last names are more respectful. In some workplaces, casual clothes are fine. In others, formal dress is expected. Do a little research or observe colleagues to understand what is normal. Adapting shows respect for the culture of your new workplace. Imagine tomorrow is your very first day in a new job. What clothes would you choose to wear? What words would you use when greeting your colleagues? What small action could you take to show interest in others? Write your answers in the comments. Preparing mentally for these situations helps you feel more confident when the real moment arrives. Karim, from Egypt, got a job in a hotel in Dubai. On his first day, he was excited but nervous. He introduced himself to everyone quickly, speaking fast and making jokes. Later, his manager told him kindly, "Slow down. Take time to listen before you speak." Karim realized that a great impression is not about being the loudest or the funniest. It is about balance, showing confidence, but also showing respect for others. In the following days, he listened more carefully and spoke more calmly. His colleagues began to trust him and enjoy working with him. First impressions are not everything. You can always grow and change, but they are powerful because they create the starting picture people have of you. If you begin with politeness, curiosity, and reliability, you give yourself a strong foundation. Later, as colleagues get to know you better, that first impression supports their trust and respect. Over time, your daily actions will matter more than the first day, but the first day is still the door you walk through. Remember, starting a new job can feel overwhelming, but you don't need to be perfect. You only need to be prepared, open, and kind. A smile, a polite word, and a little curiosity can turn strangers into colleagues and colleagues into friends. Making a great first impression is not about acting, it's about showing the best version of your true self. And that is the first step to thriving in your new job. Chapter 2. Keep learning, keep growing. Have you ever finished school or university and thought, finally, no more studying? Or have you ever started a job and felt that once you learned the basics, you were done? Write your thoughts in the comments. Many people believe learning stops after formal education, but in reality, growth continues throughout life, especially at work. The world changes quickly. Technology develops, industries transform, and companies evolve. What was important yesterday may not be enough tomorrow. If you want to thrive in a job, not just survive, you need to keep learning and keep growing. Learning is not only about courses or textbooks, it's about curiosity, awareness, and a willingness to improve. Growth means becoming a better version of yourself each day, more skilled, more confident, and more adaptable. Sophia worked as a marketing assistant in Mexico City. At first, she only did what her manager asked. She completed tasks correctly but never explored further. After 1 year, she felt bored and her manager didn't notice her much. Then, Sophia decided to learn new digital tools in her free time. She watched online tutorials and practiced at home. Soon, she was able to design social media campaigns that nobody else on her team could do. Her manager was impressed and gave her new responsibilities. Sophia's story shows how learning outside your comfort zone can open doors to growth and opportunity. The easiest way to keep learning is to stay curious. Curiosity means asking questions, observing carefully, and wanting to know more. At work, curiosity looks like this: asking, "Why do we do it this way?" instead of just following instructions. Watching how experienced colleagues solve problems. Reading or listening to news about your industry. Curiosity keeps your mind active and ready for growth. Mistakes can feel embarrassing, but they are some of the best teachers. When you make a mistake, don't ignore it or blame others. Instead, reflect and learn. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What could I do differently next time? What lesson can I take from this? A colleague who learns from mistakes grows faster than one who avoids responsibility. Ahmed from Egypt worked in a hotel in Dubai. One evening, he accidentally gave the wrong room key to a guest. The mistake was discovered quickly, but Ahmed felt terrible. Instead of hiding it, he admitted the mistake and asked his supervisor how to prevent it in the future. He learned a new system for checking guest names carefully before handing out keys. Within a month, he became one of the most reliable staff members on his team. Mistakes are not failures if you use them as opportunities to grow. Feedback is one of the most powerful tools for learning. Sometimes we don't see our own weaknesses. Others can help us notice and improve. Ways to ask for feedback. After finishing a task, ask your manager, "Was this what you expected? Is there anything I could improve?" Ask a colleague, "How do you usually handle this type of situation?" Listen carefully to both praise and criticism. Feedback may feel uncomfortable, but it helps you grow faster than working blindly. Learning at work is important, but so is learning outside of work. Successful people invest time and sometimes money in their own growth. This could mean taking an online course in your field, reading books or listening to podcasts about personal development, practicing a skill at home like writing, coding, or public speaking, attending workshops or seminars. Investing in yourself is not just about career success, it also builds confidence and keeps your mind flexible. Growth also means adapting to change. In every job, things will change. New systems, new rules, new managers, even new technologies. People who resist change often struggle. People who adapt quickly thrive. Adaptability means staying calm when things shift. Learning new tools instead of complaining. Seeing change as an opportunity rather than a problem. If you stay adaptable, you grow stronger and more valuable in any workplace. Clara worked as an accountant in Brazil. One day, her company introduced a new digital system. Many colleagues complained and resisted. Clara, however, decided to learn it quickly. She stayed after work for a few evenings to practice. Soon, she became the office expert, helping others adjust. Her willingness to adapt not only helped her colleagues, it also made her manager see her as a leader. Growth is not only personal. When you share your knowledge with others, you reinforce your own learning and build stronger relationships. Offer to help a colleague who is struggling with a task you understand. Share tips or shortcuts you discover. Explain clearly without showing arrogance. When you share, you become a source of value in your workplace. People respect and remember those who help others grow. At the heart of continuous learning is a mindset, a way of thinking. A growth mindset means believing that your skills and intelligence can improve with effort. People with a growth mindset say, "I don't know this yet, but I can learn. Mistakes help me improve. Challenges are opportunities, not problems." This attitude makes learning exciting instead of stressful. It turns difficulties into chances to grow stronger. Luis from Argentina started working in a restaurant in Canada. At first, he was nervous because his English was not strong. He made mistakes taking orders, and sometimes customers were confused. But Luis decided to grow. He practiced English every evening, asked colleagues to correct him, and learned new words every day. After 6 months, he could serve customers confidently. 1 year later, he became a shift supervisor. Luis's journey shows us the true meaning of keep learning, keep growing. It is not about being perfect. It is about progress, step by step, every day. Remember, thriving in a new job is not about knowing everything on the first day. It is about being willing to learn, adapt, and grow. If you keep learning, you keep moving forward. If you keep growing, you open new doors for your career, your confidence, and your future. Learning is not a destination. It is a journey. And the more curious, adaptable, and open you are, the more exciting that journey becomes. Chapter 3. From Newbie to Trusted Team Member. Have you ever started a new job and felt like the newbie? The one who doesn't know the rules yet, who asks lots of questions, and who sometimes feels out of place. How long do you think it usually takes before someone feels like a real part of the team? Write your answer in the comments. Everyone has been a newbie at some point, and the journey from new to trusted is something we all experience. Being new is temporary, but it can feel uncomfortable. At first, you might worry about making mistakes or not fitting in, but over time, with effort and patience, you can move from being the new person to being someone others trust, respect, and rely on. Trust is not given automatically. It is earned through your actions, your attitude, and the way you connect with others. When you become a trusted team member, you are not just doing your job. You are part of something bigger. You belong. Priya moved from India to Canada for a job in an IT company. In her first week, she felt lost. Everyone seemed to know what to do, and the office used technical words she had never heard before. She felt embarrassed asking questions. But instead of hiding, Priya took notes, asked colleagues for advice, and slowly grew more confident. She offered help with small tasks, even when they weren't part of her role. After 1 month, her teammates began turning to her for support. She was no longer just the new hire. She was a trusted member of the group. Priya's story shows us that trust is built step by step through daily actions. The foundation of trust is reliability. If people can depend on you, they will respect you. Arrive on time every day. Complete tasks by the deadline. Follow instructions carefully, especially in the beginning. If you promise something, keep your word. Even small things, like replying to an email quickly or being on time for a meeting, show others that they can count on you. Newbies often make the mistake of waiting to be told everything. Trusted team members take responsibility for their own learning. Take notes so you don't forget. Review information at home if needed. Watch how others do things and learn by observing. Ask smart questions, specific and clear, not general or repeated. When colleagues see that you are learning quickly, they feel confident that you will soon carry your own weight on the team. Listening is just as important as speaking. In fact, listening carefully can help you avoid mistakes and build stronger relationships. When someone explains something, focus fully. Don't interrupt. Repeat important points back to confirm. So, I should send the file before 3 p.m., correct? Show respect by remembering what people say and following through. Good listening tells others, "I value your words. I take this seriously." Miguel from Argentina worked in a busy restaurant in Madrid. At first, he made mistakes because he was nervous and didn't always listen carefully to instructions. His manager grew frustrated. Miguel decided to slow down. He listened fully, repeated orders back to confirm, and asked fewer but smarter questions. Within weeks, mistakes disappeared and his manager trusted him with more responsibility. Listening helped Miguel move from a struggling newbie to a trusted team member. Being trusted is not only about doing your own tasks well, it's about supporting the team. Offer help if a colleague is overloaded. Share useful information when you find it. Celebrate team successes, not just your own. Be positive, even during stressful times. Team spirit creates strong connections. When others feel you are on their side, they naturally trust you more. Clear, polite communication builds trust. People need to know what you are doing and whether they can rely on you. If you finish a task, let your manager know. If you face a problem, don't hide it. Explain it quickly so it can be solved. Use polite phrases. "Could you clarify this part?" Or, "Just to confirm, do you need it today or tomorrow?" Good communication prevents misunderstandings and shows professionalism. At first, your main job is to learn and complete basic tasks. But as you grow, look for ways to add value. Suggest small improvements if you notice them. Share ideas politely in meetings. Take initiative to learn skills that can help the team. When colleagues see that you are not just doing the minimum, but trying to make the team better, they begin to trust you as someone who adds real value. Trust is not only about skills, it's about character. Integrity means being honest, fair, and respectful. Admit mistakes instead of hiding them. Give credit to others when they help you. Avoid gossip or negative talk about colleagues. Treat everyone with respect, from the manager to the cleaner. Integrity creates deep trust because people know your actions match your words. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever been the newbie in a job, class, or group? What helped you move from being new to being trusted? What small action could you take in your next job to build trust faster? Write your answers in the comments. Reflection helps you prepare for real-life situations. Hannah from Korea started as a nurse in an Australian hospital. In her first weeks, she was shy and avoided speaking up. Her team saw her as quiet and unsure. Then one day, she noticed a small safety issue and politely mentioned it to her supervisor. The supervisor thanked her, and soon Hannah began sharing more observations. She worked hard, supported colleagues, and spoke with kindness. Within 6 months, her team trusted her completely and often turned to her for advice. Hannah's transformation shows that trust is not about being perfect. It is about being reliable, honest, and supportive every day. Moving from newbie to trusted team member takes time, patience, and consistency. The steps are simple. Be reliable. Learn actively. Listen carefully. Show team spirit. Communicate openly. Add value. Live with integrity. Each action may seem small, but together they create a powerful impression. Step by step, day by day, you move from being the new person to being someone your colleagues rely on and respect. Remember, everyone starts as a newbie. That is normal. What matters is the journey you take after that. With curiosity, consistency, and kindness, you can move from new and uncertain to trusted and respected. Trust is not built in a day. It is built in many small moments, and every day at your new job is a chance to grow, to contribute, and to earn your place as a valued member of the team. That's all from my story on thriving in a new job. Thanks for listening.